The Arizona Wildcats win this game against the San Diego State Aztecs. Final score: Arizona Wildcats 61 to the San Diego State Aztecs 59. This is going to be an interesting season. We got Rondé Hollis-Jefferson. He's an interesting character. Um, Sometimes he plays a really good game, scores a lot of points, and other times he kind of vanishes a little bit. He scored 14 points tonight, which was pretty good, um, which is kind of around his average, I guess, most of the time. Against whenever the U of A, University of Arizona, um, played against Kansas State yesterday, then Rondé Hollis-Jefferson, I think he only got 6 points. So that was kind of an unusual game for Rondé Hollis-Jefferson from the Arizona Wildcats. Tonight is more of around his average. He had 14 points. He had a total of 6 rebounds, 3 offensive, which I think, I think offensive rebounds are really cool. I think they're really valuable. Another guy that got a very good amount of offensive rebounds was Stanley Johnson. And that is another thing that is going to make this season, is going to bring a lot of drama to this season, because you got T.J. McConnell, which is T.J. McConnell is kind of he wants to win, just like Stanley Johnson, but he's more of a kind of a laid back. He is more of a laid back type of guy. Stanley Johnson is kind of in your face type of player. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I just think that T.J. McConnell and Stanley Johnson are going to be butting heads quite a bit for the Arizona Wildcats this season, because T.J. McConnell is a fifth-year senior, and Stanley Johnson he's a freshman this year, so there's a major age difference. You hear the saying a lot, and I think it's a good thing, is respect your elders. So respect. So I think Stanley Johnson should pay his respects to T.J. McConnell and let T.J. McConnell have the last word. But at the same time, I love the drive, or the hunger that Stanley Johnson has, and I don't want him to let that up. So we got. When I think of Stanley Johnson, I think of T.J. McConnell, then I think of two magnets that are the same poles of that magnets repel each other big time. But if they're opposites, then they make a very good connection. Well, I think that they're both somewhat the same poles of a magnet, and so they repel each other quite a bit, and that could be, one of the things that could have been seen tonight or heard tonight whenever T.J. McConnell told Stanley Johnson to shut up. It's things like that. It's two guys that are butting heads, and it's very hard for T.J. McConnell, because he's a leader. He wants to be the leader of the team, um, in his make this team somewhat his own way, but then at the same time, Stanley Johnson is here to to try and get the team to win as much games as possible. And Stanley Johnson has so much skill that it is possible that Stanley Johnson is going to be able to detour some of the Wildcats to follow him instead of T.J. McConnell, and that's frustrating. That's very frustrating for T.J. McConnell to, 'cause he's worked so hard and worked for so long, and then to see Stanley Johnson come in after one season, not even one season, and he's already, almost taking the whole team on his back. So it's got to be. Stanley Johnson is taking the leadership role, already, because that's just the way that he is. He's just a go-getter. He's a major leader. He's somebody that is going to say he's gonna say he's gonna put everybody behind him, and he's gonna put him in a line, and then he's gonna lead. He's gonna force you to do that, and that's kind of the way Stanley Johnson is. But T.J. McConnell, like I said, he's just a little bit more laid back, and I think that whenever T.J. McConnell and Stanley Johnson were having their arguments and having their disputes on the court, then I think it affected Brendan Ashley a little bit, because Brendan Ashley only scored, I think it was 6 points tonight, and let's see, he had 5 defensive rebounds and 0 offensive rebounds. For some reason, we haven't got a whole lot of offensive rebounds from Stanley from Brendan Ashley, and that's something that I would really like to see from Brendan Ashley is offensive rebounds. I just think that those are really important, and they build confidence as far as confidence and support for the rest of the teammates. If the rest of the teammates see that you can get offensive rebounds, then it makes them want to follow you more. It makes them want to pick you as the leader. And the other ones that got offensive rebounds, quite a few offensive rebounds. We had Hollis-Jefferson with 3. Elliot Pitts with 2. So that's the thing there. You get T.J. McConnell had only 3 assists tonight, and T.J. McConnell is average. To me, his average would probably be about 7 or 8 assists. So so he kind of fell. He kind of didn't do as good of a job tonight on the amount of assists with only 3 assists. But usually when he has a very low amount of assists and he has quite a few steals, but he didn't have any steals tonight. So and Stanley Johnson had 3 steals, and he did have an assist. So we got that internal battle. Got some drama, big time. I don't know if the Arizona Wildcats are going to be able to win 30 games this season. but I think there'll be a lot of drama. I definitely think there'll be a lot of drama. I mean, you have so many guys, so many Arizona Wildcats that are um, high high recruits, and you know, the people that they were ranked very high whenever they were recruited. Um, uh, Jackson-Cartwright, um, you know, Stanley Johnson. Uh, the the they were highly touted, and whenever you get a lot of the Arizona Wildcats are you know, they have that saying with too many Chiefs and not enough Indians. Well, the Arizona Wildcats just have so much athletic ability that tonight, I mean, I I saw Pitt had played against San Diego State, and San Diego State had been able to beat Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh had beat Kansas State, and we had and the Arizona Wildcats had just barely beaten Kansas State. So it was. I thought we were going to have a really, really hard time with San Diego State. But the thing about it is, and I think that this is the reason why the Arizona Wildcats won tonight, is because the Arizona Wildcats have a fire, kind of a fire under their bottom, and that is why they are able to pull it out at the end. Um, when I saw San Diego State tonight near the end of the game, San Diego State still had an opportunity to win this game. It was very, very close. Like I said, the final score was 72 to 68. Or it was the final score was 61 to 59. So it was a 2-point game. At 72 to 68 was yesterday's game against Kansas State, U of A, Kansas State. But tonight's game was 61 to 59. So it was an extremely close game. But the thing about it is the body language of the San Diego State Aztecs was not as energetic as the Arizona Wildcats. And I mean, you know, like I said earlier, you know, T.J. McConnell telling Stanley Johnson to shut up. You know, I mean, that just shows the fire that the Arizona Wildcats have, that desire that they have to win. And that is one of the reasons why the Arizona Wildcats were able to beat San Diego State Aztecs tonight. And I think that's going to be a common theme for the Arizona Wildcats. That's why the Arizona Wildcats are going to be able to, I think, win a lot of games, is because they have so much talent that if one person or two people or three people get are hit by the bug, you know, of not being able to score, then there's going to be some other U of A Wildcats that are going to be able to step up and score some points. I think it's great to see Jackson-Cartwright. Like I said, he's so little, and you just don't expect a whole lot of him, because he just looks like a tiny guy in amongst giants, you know. But tonight, T.J. McConnell had 3 fouls. It was in the first half, and T.J. McConnell had 3 fouls, and York had 3 fouls, and so we kind of were throwing in our second string point guard with Jackson-Cartwright, and whenever we did that, Jackson-Cartwright didn't disappoint. Really, I mean, the game never really went away. It wasn't a huge loss. I mean, T.J. McConnell is very smart. He's played many years, so he's a smart player, and Sean Miller, praises him heavily. But it was nice to not to have too much of a drop off whenever Jackson-Cartwright went in for T.J. McConnell, and the fact that that Cartwright was able to sneak in amongst those trees and and do a fantastic shot and bank a shot off the glass and get some points was was really was really was really awesome. It was just really nice to see Jackson-Cartwright do that. Jackson-Cartwright, he only ended up with 2 points, but those 2 points were really valuable. It was nice to see that, hey, if T.J. McConnell is not going to, if he's not in the game, then it's just nice. It's really nice to know that you got another strong point guard in there. Maybe not as not as veteran experience, not with so much veteran experience as T.J. McConnell, but somebody that is going to make pretty smart decisions and be not too much of a drop off as far as performance. So anyway, enough babbling from me about this game, but the Arizona Wildcats were able to beat the San Diego State Aztecs. Final score: Arizona Wildcats 61 to the San Diego State's 59. Aztecs 59.